everybody needs to have something going on for themselves, because that can be something that can create the next Amazon, next Apple. So all of us have potential. And two, it's like, if you can get a job at a 9 to 5, you can create your own, because apparently they saw something in you.
Right.
So all of us have that potential. It's just, we have to, especially in our communities, we have to think about ownership. Powernomics is
Yo, good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, my guy?
Nothing much, man. How about yourself?
Man, I am doing good, man, now that I'm awake. You know what I mean? It's a great day to be alive.
Hey, that's facts, man. That's facts. Man, I appreciate you, man, just coming onto the platform. I'm super excited to talk about content. It's my favorite topic, man. So I'm excited.
Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Man, I saw your interview on Kingdom Boss, bro. I just saw it. It was amazing. I felt the word, everything that you were saying, man. How'd you get started, man, as a content strategist? How did that journey start for you?
Man, that's a loaded question, but to
Yeah.
make it quick and for time's sake, for me, it just started with the love of like Black Planet, you know, back in the day, trying to, you know, grow on these platforms. Like every platform I've ever been on, I just wanted to grow. I just wanted to meet new people. And it was just fascinating from AOL days that you could actually meet and talk to somebody that you've never met before, never probably will meet before, from a different country, a different city, different state. Like that was just crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're from a small or mid-sized town, it's like, you know everybody, or you can get in contact with somebody. But I'm literally talking to somebody in Arizona. This is AOL dial-up days, all right? So I'm telling on myself as far as my age, right? So fast forward throughout life, I've just always been fascinated with, you know, people and connecting with people. So whether it was the T-Mobile Sidekick stuff that you could do, MySpace, Facebook when it first came out, like regardless of that, I just always wanted to interact with people. And then I said, hey, you can make money doing this.
Yeah.
Or how do you grow? Or it's just not being on the platform wasting time. So I always started to look at the nuances and started to pay attention to people. And that's how some of those strategies came. And that was a term that really fits what I do, as being a content strategist.
I love that, man. And I feel like, you know, with content, it takes confidence, belief in yourself, you know, being on camera, filming, and hearing about your story and saying that you gave God, you know, 30 days to, you know, change your life. Like that was crazy, man. So how was that time of trying to build up to like where you're currently at right now?
Yeah, that time is through a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of growing up, a lot of disappointment, but also a lot of growth, a lot of fun, a lot of great memories, a lot of lessons learned, right? And really sitting down to listen to wisdom. You know what I mean? Like not thinking you know everything. You know, when you're in your 20s, you're smelling yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of knowledge, and you're like, I know the world. Okay, calm down, young man. So I had to learn to really flow in the calm down aspect and really just listen, man. Listen to the OGs and, you know, those who went before me and are loving enough to say, hey, here's where I messed up. Don't make the same mistakes.
That's facts. On your page, man, I love how you talk about being social on social media. Can you break that down for us?
It's so funny. I just sent somebody a DM right before we jumped on this joint. And they was like, well, I mean, I know you work with coaches and consultants and service providers, but this is what I need help with. I was like, the best advice I can give you is to be social on social media. At the end of the day, people like to be, you know, people are selfish. It's all about them. And you know what I'm saying? Like for me, I jumped on this because I'm like, it ain't about me. I want to help bro. If he feel like I'm good enough to be on his podcast, okay, I'm gonna help him out. You know what I mean? Like it's not even about me being on here and all that, right? Being social is really about putting that other person first, right? So I introduce myself first. I'm not waiting on you to introduce yourself to me. I'm not waiting for the masses to come to me because number one, I'm not that sweet. Nobody's that sweet. Like, think about it. Think about this, bro. There's people who don't like Beyonce.
I know. Hey, I'll be getting mad at that too because I'm like, she's amazing. But yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you not like Beyonce?
Yeah.
It's like vanilla ice cream. How do you not like Beyonce?
Yeah.
So there's legit people who don't like Beyonce. So that means there's people who will not approach her and just give her props. So if that's Beyonce, what do you think that your relative ratio and scale is to that. So being social on social media really takes, think about this back in the day, right? We're two gentlemen here. And when you were in high school, there were some girls that you liked. They wasn't approaching you. You had to go to them. You see what I'm saying? So your ideal follower, you got to go to them. And I'm not saying like in a sleazy, spammy way, but you need to start building relationships with people who you want to connect with. So you have to make the first step of initiating, digitally shaking your hand and saying, hey, my name is so-and-so. What's your name? Oh, what do you do? Oh, okay. So remember, what is your name? What do you do? Not, hey, my name is, and this is what I do. Nobody in real life, they like, okay, weirdo, keep it moving. Yeah. But if you ask them and start talking to them and start putting them first, they'll open up and they'll want to have that interaction with you. And hopefully you can win them over and start a new relationship.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. And for people who can feel uncomfortable or, you know, somewhat timid when it comes to reaching out and networking, how can you build that confidence up somewhat?
Just do it.
Just do it.
Like, get over it. You're not that sweet. Like, the only reason you're fearful of you because you're fearful of rejection. You're going to be rejected. It's only fear, right? God has not given us a spirit of fear, of power, love, and a sound mind, right? We say that on Sunday, and whatever day you say it, and you just really got your hands high, no more fear. They got books out, no more fear. But fear, I tell people this all the time. It's one of my new quotes. This is me. I ain't hear from nobody else. Fear and pride dresses up for the occasion. They change clothes every occasion. So if you're saying like I'm timid to take the first step, that's fear showing up for that occasion. It's putting on the suit for that occasion. And then as soon as you do one, then you get scared to do two, and fear changes clothes for the next level, right? But here's the thing about fear, and here's the thing about being timid, and I don't know, fear of rejection. Like, if fear doesn't show up when you're comfortable, and it doesn't show up when you're growing, and it doesn't show up when you secure a bag, or no, after you secure the bag. It shows up right before you secure the bag, right before you do the next thing that you're supposed to do. So when you get fearful, that should be an indicator that you're on the right track.
Wow.
That timidness should be an indicator like, oh, I need to do this because I feel fearful or I feel like I'm about to get rejected. Well, you need to be rejected. You need to know what no sounds like so you can appreciate that one yes. You see what I'm saying? You need to know how it feels not to get followers for 3 months after putting in some work. So when you start getting a flood of people coming in, 20, 30, 50, 100, 1,000 followers a month, you can appreciate that. You see what I'm saying? That's the price you pay for, because it's all about sowing seed, right? You just sowing seed. You learning. All right, I got rejected. Don't come that way. Hey, don't say that. Maybe I need to smile next time. You know what I mean? Like, it's work, bro, and people don't want to put in that work. So they use the excuse. I'm timid. I'm scared. That's not me. I'm not an extrovert. I'm an introvert.
Wow.
I'm actually an introvert. As soon as it's off, this energy that you see,
you chilling.
It goes straight into work.
Yeah.
It goes straight into work. You know, I'm not on 10. I'm like, all right, let me do some work.
Yeah, I'm that way too. Yeah. I love that, man. Yeah. And also, bro, when we talk about doing the work, and I saw on the interview when you spoke about having to export a video sometimes, and people don't see all the behind the scenes of when videos don't export. I've been there. I'm still there some days where you just want to throw away the laptop, everything. When it comes to the work and the grind, how do you stay motivated?
Because that's the best part. That's the best part. See, like, I'm going to take a quote from one of my homies, Marquell, then he got it from Kendall. People want what it looked like. They don't want that work. We want the six pack because it looked good. We want to lose weight because it makes us look good. We don't want that work. To the gym. Yeah. We don't want that. Not even that's the gym. We don't even want to eat right. That's the bigger hurdle for us. My hand raised. You know what I'm saying? So I just like to work, bro. I like the creativity. Like, I got a project literally that just came in right since we're talking. I'm looking at my screen. I'm like, all right, that's going to be interesting. Like, even yesterday, I had to do something as simple as adding bleed lines to something that's getting printed. Never done it before. But man, I said, man, I'm going to conquer this today. YouTube University, figured it out in 10 minutes, knocked it out. And I was like, let's get it. Where's my crown? That's the process. That's what you got to fall in love with. You can't fall in love with the views. Like, the view, who cares? who cares? You know, some of the dopest pieces of art don't get love until long after it's been put out.
So the person's dead sometimes.
Yeah. E.T. the hip hop preacher video of the Guru didn't blow up until almost, I think, a year or so after he uploaded it.
Are you serious? I didn't even know that.
Bro, he didn't drop that and it just took off. He dropped that with nobody. It was crickets. And then somehow somebody watched it and they shared it and it just went nuts. And then E.T. just took off.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like you gotta have good proper perspective in this game.
I love that, man. On your page, when you posted, perfectionism is another form of fear. I felt that one, man.
Yeah.
I know with like content, sometimes it's like creatives, it's like this isn't perfect, so I don't want to release it yet. So how do we find that balance of having quality content but not trying to be perfect all the time too?
Well, both of those things are relative. Like, it's relative. It's not like a thick line. It's a thin line. What's quality? Quality to who? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's quality, right? I always tell people the way you can really figure out quality is basically going to be, does it solve a problem? There's a substance to it. Let that be the quality. Let that be what determines quality. Does it solve a problem? Think about that particular post that you're talking about. How simple is those words on that white background?
Yeah.
But it's a quality post because people resonated with that joint so much that you just brought it up.
Yeah.
But it wasn't all flashy. It wasn't all colorful and graphically done. Yeah. I did that in like 2 minutes. You see what I'm saying? So quality is relative. Perfectionism is fear. So the way that you really get over it is that you got to say, okay, what's in it for my audience? What is this piece of content doing? What am I trying to really say here? And how is that going to help somebody if they really lock in on this? So I got a lot of messages from people like, yo, that you see the comments. You just go back. You guys who can go back and read the comments. Folks like, man, you stepping on my toes or whatever the term is. It was like, you talking to me because the intent, the substance was like, get out of your own way, homeboy. Get out of your own way, homegirl. You tripping. Quit trying to make it perfect. Just put it out. You can put out 100 pieces of content on Instagram a day. Nobody's going to stop you. Why are you tripping about just this one? And the more you do it, the better you become. Yeah. So who you are today, your first live stream is not as good as this one today.
Yeah, that's facts.
So you're going to get better.
Yeah.
The more you do, you're going to get better. So the thing is, get that out there and let people see you grow. They're like, man, I remember your stuff was trash. How did you get it here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's facts, man. And also, too, man, during this time of COVID, people are trying to post more on lives, like you said, live streaming. How can we build up our engagement during this time as well?
On a live stream?
Yeah. Live streams, Instagram, everything.
Okay. And first off, you know, if you want engagement, you got to give it first. Right? You got to give it. Again, being social media, you got to give first. Like, I know it's not the most attractive hack. It's not the most attractive thing to say. Man, trust me, I know people who do growth hacking, and that's cool. And you can make some money off of that, but don't nobody know you. You ain't making no, like, impact on nobody's life. You just growing a following, or you just got money.
Yeah.
It's no different than you going to a 9 to 5 and never talking to your coworkers or your clients, just doing work. It's no different, right?
Wow.
It's just in a digital space and it's faster. It's more complicated. Once you get the complication part down, it's easy. So that's why they do it. So as far as getting your engagement, hand-to-hand combat, reaching out. You reached out to me for this. I'm like, bet.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
I would have never known about this opportunity. But you reached out, right?
That's
so
real.
Continue to just reach out to people. If you're on your live streams, put together a live stream strategy, right? What does that strategy look like? How does that strategy, what's the open? What's the transitions? How do I speak directly to my audience? And how do I infuse my story into what we're talking about? How do I put me in this so that they know I'm a real person and I'm not just talking to be talking? Like, there's a strategy behind everything that you should be doing. You have to have a make sense approach. Why are you doing it? Or are you just jumping on Instagram to go live and talk about whatever you want to talk about with no preparation, no thought in how this is going to go, how you want it to go, and actually plan it out? So people, again, they want what it looked like, but they don't want to put in the work. You see what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to have, and no slight on nobody watching this live with a replay. Please, in my heart, I say this with love. Stop doing things that don't make sense. I get that's what separates the person who got 100,000 followers and the person who got 300. Critical thinking, or time, or popularity, but mainly thinking. Like, business is a thinking man's game, and growing an audience is a thinking man's game. And if you think you're gonna listen to somebody, you think you're gonna listen to this live stream, and that's it, you start implementing this stuff, yeah, you'll see some results, but you're gonna still need to like figure it out even more. Marketing is experimental, so we're always thinking of something new. We're always trying to see what's the next thing. And while you stuck trying to figure out how to get over yourself, we 20 steps ahead of you. And now you got to spend all that bread. Just post, just do, just execute. That's it.
That's great, man. On your page too, man, I love how you constantly tell us about IG updates, social media updates. How do you stay fresh with everything that's going on? Because that's a lot of information. That's a lot.
Bro, this is my job. You know what I'm saying? This is my business. So, again, either you want it or you don't, right? So for me, thankfully, that I have built up enough trust, like, and trust with my audience that some people are starting to send me news updates. Like, hey, have you seen this? I was like, you know what? I heard about it, but I haven't like read it in depth. So I actually got someone who sent me the content about the IG going to keyword search now. And the guides. So I didn't know about that until somebody sent it to me. You know what I'm saying? And every week I just go to a certain websites to see what's new, what people are reporting, reputable websites. So once I do that, then I can say, all right, I think the people need to know this. And the other thing, you know that there's a new update, how they can use it for their business or for their brand to actually grow and get that engagement. So everything that I do, I think of how can people use this to grow? How can they use this to get engagement? How can they use this to turn their followers into making some bread? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we use this for that? And, you know, I still got to do the video about the guides and the keyword search. So that's going to be done today. I did one about 3 things we can learn from the Nipsey Gucci Man live stream. I got to edit that today and get it up. So it's always like feeding the people, like serving. Like, you hear people all the time talking about they love serving, but they do it when it's convenient.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a different ballgame when you do it because you know you need to do it every day. You got to show up every day.
See, I feel that too, man, because speaking on serving, like, how do we check our intentions, I would say? Because I feel like sometimes that I see creators post things that's just trying to go viral, but not trying to give substance. So, like, how do we make sure that we're actually genuine when it comes to feeding our audience, our followers?
You said it, intention. What's your intent? And a lot of people, listen, people are not honest. They're not even honest with people. They're not even honest with themselves. I jump on these breakthrough, what I call them breakthrough sessions, and people are like, how do I get more followers? Like, why do you want them? And what they're really saying is they want to become famous, but they lie and say they're trying to help people, impact people. So I'm like, so what are you doing right now to help and impact people? Nothing, because I ain't got the followers. Well, you ain't gonna do it when you get the followers. You're not doing it now. You see what I'm saying? So people have to first be honest with themselves and quit lying. Keep it 100 with you. Until you keep it 100 with you, ain't nobody gonna see. People see through that. We too smart. We know. We can smell that a mile away.
Yeah.
That you just trying to, like you said, they just trying to go viral. They just trying to, man, stop, serve. Just serve. Like, bro, I make more money. I make money off of Instagram, but I make more money serving other people than I do off my own platform. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and the natural mind would say, well, you need to go make money off your platform. Nah, I'm straight. I'm serving. I'm getting paid over here, homeboy. That bag is nice. You see what I'm saying? But I get to serve on my platform and not even worry about the money. So I guess to sum it up is like, check your ego. And I got this one of the early videos I did on IGTV. I was like, you gotta love to serve your audience more than you love to serve your ego.
That's a word.
I'm telling you, man, it's tough because we got our ego. I promise you, man, that ego and that whole I want to be fly, I want to be popular. Like, I wasn't the most popular guy in high school, but I was known by pretty much everybody in the school. Like I would say I was a mid-level dude, right? But I never wanted to be mid-level, low-level, or high. I was just me. That's who I was growing up. I was comfortable in who I was. I knew I was dope. I knew if I needed to show up, I could show up. If I needed to tailor it back, I can tailor it back. And that's the same way I am today. Like, I don't have to show up and tap dance and perform for people to validate me. I'm dope. God has made me dope. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I believe that. I don't just say it. I believe it. I live from that place. And it shows up in my content. Like, my content is not about me. So I'm just, you know, I love to just really help people understand, like, get out of your own way. You're not that sweet. You're not.
Yeah.
So love and serve on people. You know, there's a guy named Jim Rohn who said, if you help people get what they want, you will always have what you want and more.
That's deep. Wow. Wow. Hey, you dropping bars right now, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Man, you're someone who's deep into the word. I respect that, man, about you a lot. How has that shaped who you are as a person and as a creative as well?
It just is really shaped me into who I am, right? It's so funny. That was like really my personal time with the Lord yesterday, where I was just like, yo, God, I want you more than I want money. I want you more. I was just crying out, like, real talk. Like, God, I just need you more than I need money. I need you more than I need platforms and all that, because all that is temporal and is subject to change. And God, I just need you. Like, I ain't even tripping. I don't even know how much I need of you. I don't even know what part of you I need. But I mean, I just have this knowing sense of, like, I need you. And I'm nothing without you, right? Nothing. I can't breathe. I didn't wake myself up this morning. I didn't keep myself in my right mind, right? The Bible says that he's the keeper of our souls, our will, our emotions, and our mind, right? He kept all that for me. You see what I'm saying? Like, because I've been to the bottom and I know what it looks like. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know it ain't me who put me here. You see what I'm saying? So I give that reverence. I keep that place of posture with him. And I know that, you know, the word is the only thing that really, truly matters. Like, what he said and is saying to us is all that matters. Man, I don't like hear about Gucci and Jeezy for real. I ain't make no money off of that. It was entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was entertainment. The election, whoever is in the White House don't determine what goes on in my house.
That's real.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so it's that confidence. Like, and I'm tested. You know what I'm saying? You can ask the folks who are around me. They'll tell you, homeboy, tested, tried and true. But until you've been through that, until you've been through the fire, until you've been through some situations in your life where it was only God who can help you, and it was the word, it wasn't your church, it wasn't your pastor, it wasn't your prayer partner, it wasn't TD Jakes, it wasn't the YouTube series, it was you and that word that really got you through. Homeboy, they can't tell me nothing. They should have stopped me a long time ago, because I know what that is.
Wow.
For real.
Man, that's inspiring, bro. And for folks right now, and creatives especially, who's going through the fire right now, what words of advice and inspiration do you have for them?
Yeah, man. So first of all, know your goals. Know why what you do, why you do. Like, if you don't have an understanding from the get-go, you're just doing something. That's probably why you in the fire, because you don't know why you even do what you do. You're just doing. And a large majority of people, if you really ask them, really ask them why you do what you do, they don't have a real answer. They just, well, I think this is my purpose. No, you better know it's your purpose, because you're wasting the time that God is giving you. You're not stewarding your time well here on earth. You know what I mean? So it's almost like the people with the talents, right? Homeboy put it in the ground where everybody else flipped it. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people are putting their stuff in the ground, and they're busy doing everything at all here, the Holy Ghost. So, and God is really want me to impress this. People are putting their gifts and their talents in the ground and going off and doing everything else and calling that purpose. And calling that's what they do. And when he come in and check your card, like, yo, what's up? Oh, I'll put that over here. I didn't know that was that important to you. I didn't know that you wanted me to use that gift. I didn't know you wanted me to use that, because that may not be the most attractive thing on social media. Everything else that they do in the live streams, the, you know, master classes and all those things, it's the shiny thing. But he's like, no, I really helped you get over that dark place. Use the gift and the talent that I cultivated in you in that and share it with the world, so they can come over and get over these things. Oh, that's what you want me to do, God? Oh, but it's not sexy. It don't look like it's going to get you a lot of followers. It don't look like it's going to help you secure a bag, but it really is. You see what I'm saying? So I just want people who are watching this, if you're a content creator and you're trying to figure this thing out, look on the inside first. What did I overcome, or what have I overcome already? And how can I teach that to somebody else? Now it's purpose there. God is in it, because you're going to definitely say it wasn't me. You can be like, I got to this point and God took over, right? And then you're going to help people actually impact and change their lives. And the bigger the problem you solve, the more money you make. So if I can help you solve a problem that's really hurting and killing your purpose, your life, your destiny, and that, man, your wallet will open up to me. Because what's the price of the price of value doesn't exist. Well, price doesn't exist in the face of value. People don't care about the price when value is present. They don't care. Man, look, that coronavirus vaccine, if I had that boy right now in this little vial, and we know it 100% work,
richest man in the world.
I'm a billionaire because I just solved the problem. Just this little bit right here. Just this little bit right here solved the problem. And this is a lot of people who's watching this live right now on the replay. This is you right here. This is the little bit that you got, and it can change the world. But you don't think it is because it's so little. It's only one. It's not even two. It's one. You can't even keep one for yourself. But this right here is enough for you to use, and use it for the glory of God, man. And you will save lives with just this little bit. Just that little thing that you got over, that breakup that you got over, right? That issue on your job that you got over, and yet you got the promotion that you wasn't qualified for. Yet this right here, the issues of your childhood, you got over it, but this is it right here. The overcoming your childhood, the trauma, this is it. But you want to be master class. You want to do all that, but just this little talent. The talent that you don't think nothing of. It ain't that big. It ain't that big of a deal. When he come back, I'll give him his bottle bag. And you're like, no, but what did you do with it? What did you do with me parting the Red Sea for you? What did you do when I was with you in the fiery furnace? Like, what did you do with that? Oh, I didn't think you cared about that. What you mean? I was right there with you. And I'm saying this to somebody who's watching live or on the replay. This is for you. I'm going that direction. I don't know who you are. I don't need to know. That's you and your business. But I'm telling you, this is your gift and your talents that you can be putting on social media to solve a problem, but you're too busy wanting the bigger thing. Just work that small thing and watch it flourish. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't all. The reason why mine is what it is because now I can reach and talk to you about. We went from social media to your purpose and your following. Your purpose ain't here. That's the whole point. For me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey, I'm loving this, man. Good stuff for real. You're someone who speaks a lot about this saying, sowing seeds. And it's crazy, man, because I put that on like my weekly goals all the time. So hearing you say that is crazy timing. Hearing about you talk about apple seeds and patience. And then at the same time, we're in this moment where people are trying to blow up. How do we prepare ourselves for success? Because hearing about you tripling your income, and that was dope. But you put in work before that. So how do we keep sowing seeds?
Just keep working, keep cultivating it, right? So let's use the seed in the farmer, or in the apple tree, right? So you plant an apple seed. You got to know how to break up the ground, fertilize the ground, get the right seed, when to put it down. You don't put seed down when it's snow outside. You see what I'm saying? So you know when to work it. So before all that, before you even plant the seed, you got to prepare for it. Plant your seed. Then you got to fertilize it. You got to nurture it. You got to go out, take out the weeds, make sure weeds don't show up, make sure you're watering. And what I'm saying is that that's you showing up and working on your purpose, right? Your small vow or whatever God is giving you. So what does that look like even more? Reading books on it, connecting with people who already do that, right? Gleaning from them. That's spending time with Daddy God, like, God, how do I do this? Start developing the ability to hear his voice in what you do. So there's not just a waiting time of just chilling and not doing nothing. You reading, you actually becoming a practitioner. You're making the mistakes early before everybody know you. I'm still making mistakes here on social media, right? Until people, and then I get 10,000, 20,000 followers. They're like, oh my God, you're the GOAT. I'm like, man, I was a GOAT when I had 10 followers. I've just been messing up all the way here, and I'm figuring this thing out, and now I'm here, right?
Yeah.
So know that there's a process, and your process may be different, but know that there are key components. You got to sow. I mean, you got to put in some work, right? And as you're putting in some work, cultivate your seed. Keep believing and speaking over your seed. Keep like tell yourself, yo, if you got to tell yourself every day that you are what you say you're trying to become, do that. Whatever works for you within the guidelines of faith. For me, I mean, people are doing this affirmation and manifestation and universe stuff, and I'm like, y'all messing around with the wrong stuff because y'all don't know what you're inviting in if you're not connecting to the right source. So that's just a little extra. So after that, you just continue to cultivate, bro. You just continue, just put work at it. Because when you get to that level, you're still going to work at it. It don't stop. Man, I hear the Holy Ghost. All right. So take the apple seed. Put the apple seed, it grows to an apple tree. Right? If you do it right and that tree is there every year, you got apples every year.
Yeah.
But you only planted one seed. It's a perpetual harvest as you perpetually work on your craft. You didn't hear me? Yeah? Okay.
Man,
all right, let me break this down.
I'm taking it in. I'm taking it in. Yeah.
So if you go to an apple orchard, I'm in Michigan, so we got a lot of them here. So you go to an apple orchard, they don't plant seeds. Well, they do, but I'm just saying like the apple tree that you're pulling from today was not planted last year.
Wow.
The tree you go back to, every year I go there, they got apples. All they got to do is work the process. All they got to do is work the process. It's going to be there's a perpetual harvest on the seed you have sown. Wow. So you plant one time, you can go back to that tree and eat from it over and over and over and over again. Your first 100 followers will get the same thing, get you to 200. The same thing, get you to 300. But now, as you go up, you're going to have to tweak it. I don't believe in higher levels, higher devils. I don't believe in that. I believe in higher levels, greater anointing, greater wisdom, greater authority. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get into every time you go up, your fight go up. Nah, every time you go up, there's a different level of thinking that you have to have, but you already got the victory. Whether that's in social media, whether that's in your faith, whether that's in your marriage, whether that's in your personal life, whatever. It's the same thing, bro, across every line. When you decide to make $1 million, I've been around millionaires, and they all say, once you decide to make $1 million and you go after it, all hell breaks loose in your life. The divorce may come. Kids may act crazy. Your health may come in jeopardy. Why is it when you go for $1 million, these things happen to believers and non-believers? Because it's a system in this world that says, we're not going to let you get this that easy.
Yo, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. I love this, man. And on those
Hold on, somebody said, can we speak more about that?
Yeah. I just saw that.
Yeah. What do they mean?
Can you speak more on that? I think he described exactly what he was saying about sowing the seeds. Cosmic God, if you have more questions, please drop it in the comments, and I got you. I got you on that.
Yeah, but that's what it is, man. It's like, so every day I got to wake up and sow seed. The Bible says the kingdom of God is as if a man is going across the world just scattering seed. Like, as a kingdom entrepreneur, we just supposed to just sow seed, bro. Because you never know. You never know, bro. You never know. Me being on this, I don't know what this is. This may be the very thing that break me to the next level. I don't know. Or this may be the same thing that breaks you to the next level. Yeah. Or the viewer. I don't know. But I'm sowing a seed.
Putting in the work.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's all it is, bro. And God gonna bless you, man. Don't worry about it. It's already taken care of. It's already taken care of, homeboy. Don't even trip. You tripping too much.
Yeah.
You overanalyzing. You overanalyzing. You overanalyzing. And that's not faith. That's fear.
I feel that.
Commit to a decision before you can learn how to make good on it. That's called faith.
Wow.
But if you're trying to figure it out, there's no faith in that.
Hey, you thinking too much, huh?
Yeah, but not only are you thinking too much, your thinking too much doesn't do anything.
Still got the same problem. Yeah.
Think about it. When have you ever thought about something and you thought, I thought this thing through and it came out the way you thought it was? Never.
Rarely. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Right? Here's the thing. Yeah. Jesus himself never showed up for the people the way they anticipated or expected. Never. Martha and Mary, was like, if you would have just been here.
Yeah. Hey, you came late. You pulled up late.
You know what I'm saying? You pulled up on us late. If you would have just been here. You know what I'm saying? Like, he always did things in a way that they were just like, what? Because when he showed up, they're like, yo, we about to take over the world now. We about to get the Roman Empire out of here. We're going to overturn them. Let's go. Jesus, he's like, man, I ain't come here for that. He's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? 400 or 500 years, all these years of prophecies about you going to set up your kingdom on earth. And they're like, you talking about you don't want to fight? You don't want to overturn them? You're like, nah. That ain't my kingdom. My kingdom is not here where you can see, touch, and that ain't what I'm about. He never shows up the way we expect him to. Because then how your expectation becomes Lord.
Wow.
I just said something right there. Your expectation becomes Lord, not Jesus.
Wow.
This man spit into the ground, homeboy, to heal somebody's eyes. So your business and things that you're trying to do, and it's not going to come the way you think it's going to come. Just commit to the fact that it's going to come. That's it. That's it. It ain't going to show up the way you show up. Come on, man. He was just speaking. Man, why are you pulling on me today, homeboy? Why are you doing this to me? Listen, he never. So I'm saying your business is not going to come the way you think it's going to come. Just know that it's going to come. Right? So this we know the story of the Bible, the guy who was blind, right? And they was like, he's been blind since birth, and yada, yada, yada. Disciples like, who sinned him or his parents, yada. It's just like, nah, this guy about to get the glory out of this. Y'all tripping. Y'all thinking they're on the wrong stuff. So Jesus spits into the ground, makes this clay-like stuff out of saliva, and puts it on homeboy's eyes. And tells him to go wash his face. And then he gets his sight, right? Why did Jesus spit in the ground when everybody else, he just touched them, he just spoke, and their eyes open? Like, why? Think about it. If I'm him, I'm like, did you literally just spit into the ground and put this on my face, homeboy?
Spat in my face, pretty much. That's crazy.
Right?
Wow.
So, I studied this one time, and I'm like, why would you do that? Like, why would you spit on the ground? Like, that's disgusting. And put that in there, because that region, the reason why a lot of people were blind in that region, because there was a lot of dirt and dust. So their hygiene was not really that good. Even to this day, I believe they still have the most cases of folks who go blind in a ratio per capita type, right? Space, right? So peep this out. He spoke to some people, they got their healing, their transformation. He touched some people, they got their healing, their transformation. Some people touched him, and they got their healing and transformation. But this guy spits into the ground. And this is going to like really help with sowing seeds, right? So you're sowing seeds for your business, and it may not come the way you think it's going to come. Like, I never wanted to do what I'm doing now. I never want to do it again, because I've had such bad experiences in the past. I was like, I don't ever want to do that again. He's like, I'm going to blow you up in this area, but it ain't going to be the way you think. I'm going to use the very area that you got a sour taste in your mouth about, and we're going to do this. And I'm going to send people who actually going to treat you right and respect you and all that, right? So he spits in the ground and heals my man, because in that day, this person and this blind man and his family was spat on because he was blind. In that culture, they would spit on you as to say, you must have done something wrong and deserve this, and this is a punishment from God. So I'm spitting on you in public to say, I'm in agreement that you deserve to be cursed. So it's almost they thought God was spitting on people to get them. I mean, and that's a far stretch, right? But I'm saying that the stretch is not, this is not the stretch. They were spitting on people to say, I agree that you should be blind. You did something wrong. You sinned against God, the culture. You deserve it. So they would spit on him and his family in public.
Wow.
And Jesus said, I'm going to use the same thing that's been denigrating you to heal,
to be able to see. Wow.
So I'm going to use the same seed that has been just bothering you, man. Like, man, this person is just, my boss is always riding me. Why is he always riding me? God, give me a new job or remove them. He's like, nope, I'm going to use that same situation to be a blessing to you. Yeah.
This is good, man.
Man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go super left field like that.
Hey, but I needed that.
Holy Ghost told me to say it, so I'm gonna say it. Somebody needs to hear it.
Hey, don't hold back, man. Don't hold back. And
Yeah.
man, hearing you say that Jesus was an entrepreneur in a previous interview on
Yeah.
King's Boss, that was fire because that was the first time that I ever heard that. And I'm a
Mm-hmm.
PK, raised in the church. You know, always knew Jesus, he was a carpenter, all that good stuff. But I never took a step back and was like, yo, he was an entrepreneur. Like, he worked for himself. Like, I never thought about that, right? So how do we, for people who's into the word, like, how do we change our perspective? Because I think sometimes when it comes to business that we don't look into the Bible as well. Like Job, he was wealthy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Solomon, he had money, right? So how do we study in the word when we're trying to find advice when it comes to business as well?
Study to show thyself approved.
Mm. Mm. Simple.
Too many times no disrespect to any pastors or PK could know that. I honor them. I honor their word. So the thing that I'm saying is like at this thing is like, yo, you got to get into this word for yourself. You got to figure this stuff out for yourself. I love my pastor, but my pastor is not the Holy Spirit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love my pastors, but they're not the Holy Spirit. Love TD Jakes, but it's not the Holy Spirit. I love all, you know what I'm saying, all these great men and women of the faith, but they're not the Holy Spirit. They got to go to him just like I do. Go to him and ask him questions. Like, yo, Holy Spirit, like, what do you think about this? Holy Spirit, what do you think about that? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? We don't do it. We listen to the pastor because I'm like, you need to hear me. And no, homeboy, you're not that sweet. I'm not. You need to be telling me I need to be listening to the Holy Spirit. I need to be listening to you because now you're limiting what God can do in my life.
Yeah.
You see, because faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God, meaning the principle is your faith comes the more you hear about it. So if I keep hearing limited beliefs, even in the word of God, it's going to be hard for me to believe. And I think that's where a lot of Christians are having some issues at home. We don't want to get into this word for ourselves. We don't want to go through the process of sitting down by myself with the Bible open, whether on a tablet or a book, and reading it and saying, God, what are you saying? No, I just listen to a YouTube video and that's good enough. I listen to my pastor, that's good enough. No, it's not. They're not good enough. Because God can be telling you something totally different. Totally different. That'll blow you up and put money in your pocket, do all those things that you want in business. But no, I'm gonna listen to them. They ain't got nothing. They never made six figures, so how can they tell you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They still on Frank's hot sauce.
Yeah.
They think and nothing against the Golden Corral, but I don't do buffets, but they think buffets is cool. They think Red Lobster is cool. And you like, no, I like Morgan's. I like Ruth Chris. But they're not there yet. So, you know, at the end of the day, man, I really push people to say, look, at the end, you got to get to where you want to go. And you got to figure it out. You can't listen to everybody to help you get there. They don't know. They don't know, bro. Nobody knew COVID was coming. People don't know, bro. So if that don't wake you up to let you know nobody on this earth knew COVID was coming and how to handle it, they don't know the answers for your personal life. God knows. Listen to the Holy Spirit and do what the Holy Spirit tell you to do. Don't just hear it, do it.
Gotta execute. I feel that.
And even in your business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't have a knowledge problem. We have a doing problem. We know what to do. We just don't do
it. Yeah.
Because fear, perfectionism, all those things that we talked about prior to this point, that keeps us in our place.
That's right, man.
Yeah, and it ain't the devil. Stop saying that. I just heard that.
Yeah, hey, everything bad is the devil, but you over here. But you messing it up.
Yeah. Please post this. So many people need to hear this. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah,
I'm just
posted
sharing
on YouTube. It'll be posted on YouTube. I got you.
I'm just sharing what I know, bro. Like I don't change. You know, I'll tell you if I heard it from somebody else. But this is, you know, what I do. But man, at the end of the day, like the devil ain't omnipresent. Like, y'all be acting like he everywhere at the same time. No. Sometimes it's just you don't know what you're doing. Sometimes you just ain't you ain't with the God yourself. Oh, that was the devil. No, the devil didn't give you diabetes. It was those Twinkies. It was those pies. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my back hurt. He attacking my body. No, you're just not in shape. Come on, man. Let's stop with the foolery, man.
Yeah.
That's why they won't give me a pulpit, because I'm tearing all that stuff down, bro. Don't give me the pulpit. Folks ain't gonna like me at the back. Don't invite me to your church, bro. I promise they ain't gonna like me, because I'm taking away every excuse why you're not where you need to be.
Hey,
what's the excuse now?
We're on to something.
Oh, bro, it's in the word. He said, I've given you everything that pertains to life and godliness. The promises of God are, you ain't got to ask God for the promises. He says they are yea, yes, and amen, and it is so. So why are we not balling? What's the excuse now? What's the excuse now?
You don't have one. You got to look in the mirror.
Oh, no, don't tell me that. I'm going to blame it on the devil.
That's the easy way.
I want to blame it on my neighbor, my cousin, though. I was telling my cousin, bro, $50, they ain't paid me back. I need that $50 to pay my bills. Man. Hey, somebody gonna be mad at you, man. Listen, I paid all this money for a course to grow my Instagram, and my Instagram ain't grew yet. You do what the coaches told you to do? No, because they don't know what they're talking about. Oh, okay. Okay.
Man.
Yeah. I read this book, and they said to do this, but when I tried it, it didn't work out. Man, that book ain't no good, man. Let me find another book. Oh, you tried it one time. Man. Okay. No excuse Christianity, bro.
That's a new one, because people, they ain't used to that one, man.
No, because there's always an excuse. Well, my business is not growing. My Instagram. I know people who spent money with coaches and consultants and all that. They come to me and they don't want to spend no bread. Well, I worked out with this person. It didn't work out. Okay. Well, keep your problem. Because you know what? The problem that you have is just as expensive as your investment or more.
Wow. I didn't think of it that way. You'll keep losing money, spending money. Yeah, that's true.
You see what I'm saying? Your problem, think about it. You got a job, right? So you got a car, and if you have a flat tire, it's hard for you to drive to work or be on time for work. So you may take a day off and fix that tire so you can now be on time for work moving forward. I know this sounds simple. It's like, yeah, duh. I know this sounds simple. Just walk with me. If you never fix the flat tire, you don't have a job.
You can't get to work.
How expensive is that tire? It may be $200-$300 tire. How much money do you make in 2 weeks? So if you don't fix that tire, you don't get this check. Which one is more? The check.
Right.
But you lose out on that money. So let's say you bring home $1,500 every 2 weeks, right? So that $1,500 you don't get because you didn't show up to work for 2 weeks because you had a flat tire because you didn't want to fix the problem. That tire costs $200. So that's $1,700. That's a $1,700 problem.
Wow.
When I'm just saying, give me the 200, boom, and you got 15.
Wow. Priorities. So
that's it, bro. Man. Not even that. It's just, people just scared to invest in themselves. They don't believe in themselves. They believe in those other coaches and consultants. I'm just like somebody spent $800 on a course, didn't get nothing out of it. And I was like, at the time, I was charging $100 for a consultation. They didn't want to spend that.
Yeah, that's nothing for a consultation. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, bro. That's how we do.
I'm speechless right now.
They Christian.
Wow. This is $800 on the course, but didn't want to spend $100 on a consultation. Wow.
And I get it. They feel like I've been burned before, but I'm like, what's $100? Again, what's one? So you would rather have all four of your tires flat? At least let me fix one and show you I know what I'm doing, so I can fix the other one. That's too much. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm sorry. I didn't even anticipate this going in this direction, but it did what it did.
It was needed. It was needed.
Man, for me too. Yeah. I'm talking to me. I gotta keep me sharp. I'm gonna go back and watch this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share it with some people. Come on, man.
Most definitely, man. And bro, Lev, man, I think that you kind of hit on something too, is that with Christian creatives or believers who are creatives and content creators, I see us sometimes, and I'll talk to friends who get frustrated because it's like, I'm not growing, but I'm posting quality content. But then I see people who's posting nonsense and crazy stuff, like all the ratchet stuff, like Wall Star, and that stuff grows, or like these tea room pages grow. But then if I'm giving substance and I'm talking about something, it's not growing, and I'm frustrated. How do Christian creators stay motivated even when their content isn't growing?
Let's use a make sense approach. Shade Room is entertainment. Larger audience pool, right? They got more people that would possibly like them than you narrowing down your niche, solving a particular problem. So let's dead the comparison right there. Number one, it's over with. So we're not comparing ourselves to the Shade Room. The Shade Room provides a service for a larger audience that actually like that type of stuff. They know their audience, right? So as Christian entrepreneurs, again, it's just like the church, right? The Bible says the children of darkness are wiser in their generation than the children of light. I didn't come up with that, guy. So I'm not saying
it was already there.
I didn't tell you that you was dumb. I didn't tell you that you wasn't wise. It said it. I'm just repeating it. Don't shoot the messenger. Read the message. You see what I'm saying? So it says that the children are wiser. They get it. They get that they audience like ratchet. You don't know how to position your stuff for your audience to like what you put down. So don't get mad at the Shade Room. Go read a book on messaging and learn how to get your messaging game up. Right? And then frustration. When people say frustration, that is a clear indication that you're not getting what you want. Why else would you be frustrated? It's not going your way. You're not getting what you want, so you become frustrated. Sounds like a 3-year-old. That's why we're called the children of God.
That's deep. Having temper tantrums. That's real. Man.
And we get our friends together, we have a pity party. And all we do is lick each other's wounds and say it's going to be okay. Instead of pulling you out and says, why are you frustrated? Why? Who said you should have just as many followers as them? Why should you? How much work are you putting in? How much paid work are you putting in? How much work are you running ads? You see what I'm saying? Are you paying for a course or a coach or a consultant? Are you doing these things? No, I'm just posting. I should have at least 5,000 followers by now. How many posts have you put up? Like, bro, I got over 3,500 followers. I got less than 1,000 posts. I just looked at that the other day. I was like, man, I'm tripping. I need to post more. I don't deserve to have 10,000 followers at 700 posts. Why do I think I'm that sweet?
That's powerful.
I know somebody that got, less followers, but way more posts than me. You know what I mean? Like, that's weird stuff that I do, right? When I get 2 seconds to look. So I'm sharing with everybody today, like, stop tripping. Like, get your mind right. Jay-Z said it best. Get your mind right, baby. You know what I'm saying? You rolling with G.O.D. with God. Not him. I'm just saying, like, flipping the words around. You know what I mean? You with God. Stop tripping. Oh, man, I should have more followers than this. No, you shouldn't. What you doing with what you got? I should make more money right now. No, you shouldn't. What you doing with what you got? We always want more. We don't ever, rarely do you hear people say, I'm so thankful for what I got.
That's real.
Man, God, show me how to serve the followers I do have. How do I get to know all 3,500 of my followers? How can I serve the 3,500 better? Oh, how do I get to 10,000?
Then when we get to 10K, now we want 20.
It's the flesh. It's never satisfied. Wow. So hopefully I answered that. Hopefully I did.
You did, man. And it feels like I've been attacked, but in a good way. This conversation makes you think, and that's what I love about this. That's super dope, man. Lev, man, thank you so much, bro, for just coming onto the platform again, all your time.
Anytime.
My last question for you, bro, where do you see yourself in your business within the next 5 to 10 years?
I will have passed the $1 million mark on social media. So I would have made over $1 million off of social media by that time. Easy, probably in the next 2-3 years. Man, I don't know. Like, I have employees. Hold on one second. You can do heavy numbers with 3,500 followers if you serve your audience right. Yeah, man. Listen, that's why I try to serve you guys, man.
Yeah.
Y'all, if you've been following me from any amount of time, I ain't fake. I ain't no phony. I keep it a buck. Ain't nothing. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I treat everybody like y'all know me for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't about to go get a Airbnb and act like the crib all fly and go rent a car, and you know what I mean? Like, y'all, like, come on. If y'all ever see me in public, I'm just saying I'm actually better in public than I am online, but I ain't faking a funk. You know what I'm saying? But 5 years from now, definitely, like I said, putting up, that was something I told God recently, like, I want to put up $1 million off of social media before I leave Earth. And he was like, that's it? I was like, all right, never mind. Let me leave you alone today. You tripping. You know what I'm saying? He told me to get my thinking up. I was like, I wasn't trying to, I just wasn't hearing that. I didn't want to hear that. I just want you to be like, yes and amen, son. He was like, well, that's it? I was like, okay, so I got to recalibrate. Definitely have employees where I can impact people's lives as a leader and their families, and, you know, show them what it looks like to, with a righteous rule, the people rejoice. You know what I mean? Have employees who are just joyful to come to work and want to work. Be a serial entrepreneur. Have probably 3, 4, 5 more businesses running. By that time, I'm literally just doing whatever God want me to do. Still to this day, but like, all right, God, what do you want? Let's do real estate. Let's do whatever else. You know, by that time, have children, have a wife, and whatever she wants to do. I just want to fund her dreams. You know what I mean? Retire her early, stay at home, become a stay-at-home mom, and really just push the culture forward. And what I mean by the culture, I'm not talking about like hip-hop culture. I'm just saying like the culture of like, let's get it out the mud the right way. You know what I'm saying? Let's really show people what it looks like to be, you know, a child of God, and how to get it the way God wants us to get it. Don't care about all that other stuff. Like, I ain't tripping. Like, how does God want us to get it? That's it. That's it, bro. I just want to be ready to coast into the back 9.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? I want these next 5 years to put in so much work that, all right, we chilling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not putting in as much labor hours, but we're thinking. Everything is about chess at that point. Yeah.
Man's a legend. Lev, actually,
No.
bro, I lied.
No. I'm no different than you are, bro. I promise.
I feel it. Hey, I respect it though, man.
Yeah.
For real, I respect it. And Lev, I lied, bro. I have one more question actually, because
you got me here. I'm here.
Perfect, man. Hearing you talk about listening to God, I think is very deep, because we have to like be still and like actually listen. How do we listen to God better sometimes? Because I feel like we'll get lost in the sauce of like day-to-day work. But how do we sit back and listen?
Yeah, so I'll give real quick. I think we can go over an hour now.
Oh yeah.
Hey, we're
okay.
Good. Cool. Yo, man, accept them accolades, bro. All right. I accept them. Thank God for them, man. To God be the glory. We get to cash the checks. You feel me?
Yeah.
I give God his glory. Let's cash checks. So, so I look at it like this, right? And I'm gonna give y'all what my pastor gave me and what I share with people when it's like one-on-one. So as an example, right? Yesterday I'm working. I was just kind of stressed out because I was like, man, like stuff wasn't going the way I wanted to go, right? It was me being frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Having a little tension. I'm like, things are going the way I want to go. I'm trying to knock out all these projects real fast. And my lady called me and we FaceTime, and she just lets me work, which is just a blessing. And she just sits there and listens, or I listen to her. And she was frustrated about something too, right? And in the midst of us having the conversation, I just felt God say, pray. You need to pray. Stop what you're doing and pray. I just felt like, I knew that wasn't me because I'm focused on this.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to her. So I wasn't even thinking about praying. Prayer wasn't even on my radar. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, should I DoorDash or what? I got everything else on my mind but that, right? So I'm like, praying. I'm like, okay, God, we need to pray. So I'm praying for her, praying for myself. And I finished praying and I felt good. And then I heard the Holy Spirit say, it was Philippians 4:6, but it was like prayer, supplication, and giving thanks. because I was in the prayer. I was just thanking God. I was like, God, I'm not even asking you to remove it. I'm just thanking you that I even got the computer to work. You know what I mean? Like, I was just thankful, right? So that was just yesterday. So I'm using that as an example that you'll hear God's voice in the midst of all that you're going through and just respond. So because I prayed the first time with Thanksgiving, the scripture came. After I prayed it, and then the scripture came, right? I said, oh. So I started looking at the scripture. I read it like 4 times over and over, different translations, real quick, within like 15 minutes. Prayed again, right? So I'm just praying again. Oh, God, I just thank you so much for just giving me this word. You know what I mean? Like, I was just thankful because I was sitting in that spirit of Thanksgiving. So I go back to work. She's still FaceTiming. She like wiping her tears. Like, oh my God, I needed to pray. We needed to pray. And I'm like, yeah, we need to make sure we stay on top of this more consistently. And then a song came. Then another song came. And I was like, oh, I get it now, God. I need to give you my attention right now. I may be late with these projects, whatever, but God, I'm going to give you some attention right now. And I just worshiping, like true worship, right? And it was just like, he was just like, just join in on heaven's worship right now. It was like he was saying, stop what you're doing, come into this live stream of heaven's worship and just join in. Even through the song was Agnes Day, right? Which is the words of the elders around the throne of God are saying, holy, 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 the Lord God Almighty, right? Just holy, worthy is the Lamb, right? So I'm just like, oh, I'm just having a moment, right? So that's that's how it shows up in everyday life. But here's the practical way of learning to hear the voice of God, right? So it's 4 steps. First, you want to worship. Then you want to pray in your heavenly language. If you have that gift, it's not a bad gift to get if you don't have it, so get it. Then, or you just pray. Then you sit and you be quiet. And when you're quiet, you'll feel a lift. After that lift, you go into the Word. And you go into the Word, Holy Spirit, what do you want me to get out of what I'm about to read? What are you saying? And understand that God only speaks by revelation, not by information. So you can read, people like, I read the Bible front to back. Man, I ain't read that thing front to back that many times. Like, I've read it chunks. I've read the whole thing in chunks, but not from. And they just think that's the thing. I read it 4 or 5 times. Well, you read it for information. Well, you read it for revelation. Because God only speaks by revelation. He doesn't speak by information. Because, think about it. He said, flesh and blood did not reveal this to you, Peter, but it was my Father. Information is what y'all do, what y'all get. But my God reveals. So now you're saying, okay, God, reveal to me. So you go through this process, and he may not say something to you in that moment, but you'll be walking down the aisle at the grocery store, and the very thing that you were just praying about, bing, he speaks to you. Or you'll be out in public, and you'll overhear a conversation with the wisdom that you need about the same thing that you believe in God for. You're like, oh, I didn't even know why I was going to JCPenney's today. But man, I'm overhearing this conversation on how to buy a house and the tricks in the trade of buying a house, and I'm overhearing it. And you was just praying for a house. You see what I'm saying? And
yeah.
God, I'm so thankful. I wouldn't even go on to JCPenney's today. I was going to Walmart. You know what I mean? And he's like, oh, go to JCPenney. And you walk in and you're like, how you can't orchestrate a movie scene like that. You see what I'm saying? So it's the worship, the prayer, right? Being quiet, and then get into the Word. Worship, prayer, be quiet, get into the Word. Worship, prayer. And the more you fix yourself up like that, the more he'll reveal himself to you.
That's beautiful, man. Lev, you've killed this interview, man. This was an amazing discussion. I'll make sure that this will be posted on YouTube very, very soon. I'll share it with you. We'll have clips of the conversations, all that stuff. So I got you, man. And lastly, where can everybody follow you, support you, all that good stuff?
What I need everybody to do is make sure you follow him. Make sure you follow this podcast. Don't follow me. Follow this podcast. I need y'all to like this joint, share it. It's not about me. Let's grow him. Let's get his numbers up of people who really want what he's putting out. And he's putting out great content. So follow this podcast, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Man, whatever you got that they need, that's what I want people to do. Now, again, if you heard something today, whether you're live or you're on a replay, and you was like, yo, this was super dope, I needed to hear this, I need you to just let him know what stood out to you the most. Don't hit me up. Hit him up. And if it's dope, he'll send it to me. But I'm just saying, I want people to rock with you. I'm straight. People going to come and connect with me. right? Every time I do a podcast, how can people reach out? It ain't about me. It's about the platform that I'm on. Let's blow this platform up and get more people. Let's get TD Jakes on this platform. Let's get these big name folks to really see that, yo, this young man is doing it, and he's doing it with a spirit of excellence and grace. So let's blow this up, man. So you ain't got to follow me. Follow this podcast and blow it up, and make sure y'all share it.
Much love, man. Lev, you have a beautiful weekend. Be blessed.
You too, brother.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Anytime, man. For real. Anytime. I mean that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, bro.